Hey there, viewers and fellow bronies. After long consideration, I've decided that since I am kind of between jobs and have a lot of free time, it is a good opportunity for me to finally start this audio series that I've been wanting to do since I had this story in my head. It's called My Inner Pony, and it's basically about myself becoming a pony, although I use stage name. And I end up meeting ponies that are based on my personality. Now, the story itself is still being written, but I have basically the whole thing in my head already, so I do feel like I am ready to start an audio series. I will add the auditions for the characters that are yet to be in the story. That way, I have them. So let's get into these auditions now, why don't we? Now, it's a good thing you guys can hear my voice in this video, because this is what you're going to need to try and copy if you want to get the main role. Now, I know it would be better if I just voiced myself, but I cannot narrate at all. I mean, I could, but I'm not really good at getting the right emotion. Plus, my voice can get pretty loud when I'm narrating, and I don't want to have to go back and edit that out. Also, I am hoping to put some songs into this audio series, and hopefully get my brother to do the music. But I cannot sing, so if you can sing, that would be absolutely amazing. Now, you don't have to get an exact match to my voice, but it would be greatly appreciated. As for the singing voice, well, I literally cannot sing. I might be able to sing in another voice, but not my own. When you do the audition, just try to sing Twilight's part of the theme song, and that would be great. Now, the only canon character that I have in the story thus far is Princess Luna, and she's the one who sends my character into the world of ponies. So far, Luna only has a small role, but I am hoping to get her into the story and play a bigger role, as well as adding some of the other cast of the show. Now, one of her lines does require the roiled voice from the Nightmare Night episode, so just a little warning, please make sure that you're not screaming into a microphone and making my ears bleed when you do this audition. I will greatly appreciate not having my ears bleed, thank you. Now, the first of the inner 6 ponies that need a voice is Creative Mind, aka Cree, for short. As her name suggests, she is based on my imagination and love for writing. Now, I always imagined her with either a Hermione or an Octavia voice, but without the accent. Personality-wise, she's quite like Twilight, but also completely different. She's not a total nerd like Twilight can be at sometimes. Now, she is really big into Zimbabwe culture, which is, in my opinion, what they should call the land of the zebras. So I will be adding a couple of Swahili words in there, so they may be a little hard to pronounce at times, but the character will remain dominantly English. Okay, now this character may or may not end up being voiced by me, but I think it's best that I hold a casting call for her anyway, just to see if, maybe in the end I decide I can't do this, or I can't get the voice right or not. This is Slash-a-Flick. She is my favorite OC other than my own, and as her name suggests, she is based on my love for horror movies. I love horror movies so much. If you didn't already get the fact that I named my main character Agatha Wesmen, that's an homage to Wes Craven, my favorite director of all time. May he haunt us in our nightmares forevermore. Now, this is how I imagine her to sound if I'm gonna voice act for her. Basically, it's what we all hope and dream Vinyl Scratch will sound like if she ever gets her voice into the show.
Aw yeah, let's get this set up and running, ponies! Bro, I said use strawberry syrup in the fake blood, not cranberry. Yuck.
That's just my take on the character, but if you can get it as close to Vinyl Scratch as you can, that would be, like, totally awesome. I really like Jessie Nowak's impression of her from, like, Epic Wub Time, so that would be the closest Vinyl Scratch I would say, best fits Slasha. Now, this is Slash's brother, Blockbuster. He's more of a background pony, but I do want to have a couple of scenes with him. I always imagined him to sound like Sasuke from Naruto, but he's basically Sasuke's total opposite. He's a fun-loving guy, and the scenes of him I want to be quite comedic, so if you can manage to make Sasuke sound fun, that would be absolutely perfect. Now, the next of the Inner Six ponies is Puppy Love, or just Pups for short, and she is based off of my love for animals, but she's not a total Fluttershy character. She is a bit shy at times, but she does stand up for herself, especially since she is actually Slash's roommate. So there's going to be quite a lot of comedic rivalry between her in this one scene where I have them arguing in their apartment. Now, I imagined her to have a voice like Honey Lemon from Big Hero 6, but she does speak more like Fluttershy, as in the way Fluttershy talks, the whole soft-spoken and quite shy, but when she stands up for herself, she's way more like Honey Lemon, so it's kind of like a hybrid between the two. Now, this next character of the Inner Six is actually very dear to my heart. This is Flippinality, and she's based on something about me that is kind of hard to talk about for me. I have Asperger's syndrome, which is a type of autism, and for a long time it was really hard for me to make friends, and well, it still kind of is. I do have some social problems, and this is basically what Flippinality is. She is my real personality. When I'm alone, she's who I can be. Like the Pinkie Pie inside us all. Now, I imagine her voice to be like a slightly higher-pitched Misty from Pokemon, and I do want to have at least one song with her. I don't have anything planned out yet, but I would really like to have one in the show. Audio series, I mean. So when you audition, I think that it would be best to maybe do a little bit of the Smile song, but whatever Pinkie Pie song you can do would be great, because that's basically who this character is personality-wise. Now, this next Inner Six character is Canola Oil, and she's based off of my love for fast food and basically any chain restaurant in general. Now, the thing about Canola is, in her family, everyone has a different accent. I know it sounds weird, but they do. Her accent is mainly Texan, but I do not want a typical hillbilly accent. Actually, even though I love hillbilly jokes, I find that very offensive. So, if you can just do a nice, Texas accent, like a stronger accent than what Applejack already has, but kind of staying close to Applejack, that would be, absolutely great. Now, I will have a couple of scenes with Canola and her family. This is her older brother, Alfredo Fettuccini, or Alf for short. He has an Italian accent and is voice is more like the cake boss Buddy Velastro. Now, while he may look like Big Mac and kind of be like a Big Mac character, he's way more talkative and not the cliche, shy Big Mac that you usually see in the show. The next one of Canola's family is Crepe Suzette. And even though she's more like an Apple Bloom character, she has a French accent and sounds a lot more like Marie from the Aristocats. So, absolutely adorable sounding voice, but she's still as spunky as Apple Bloom. Now, she belongs to since this is set in Mare Amy, this will be the Mare Amy branch of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. So there are 2 other characters that she interacts with, but I won't put their auditions up just yet because I have yet to think up a scene with all 3 of them in there. But I will say that their names are Sugar Cookie and Ravenwing, which are like a Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo type characters. I will put them into the story eventually, but until then, I will refrain from putting their casting videos on here. The last member of Canola's family that I'm putting auditions for is Granny Cannoli, who is actually the founder of her diner that she owns. And as the name suggests, she is a Granny Smith character, so she will be kind of hard to do. She has an Italian accent, so that'll make things even harder, but I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Now, the final character of the Inner 6 group is my OC Roiled Icing. And she, as the name suggests, is a cake baker and is actually based on my baking skills and love for cake decorating. Now, she's kind of like a rarity character, meaning she has the same way of speaking, but I don't want her to be as prissy. I mean, you can go slightly like Rarity, but maybe more towards maybe Surrey Polo Mare without the accent, but keeping just the way that Rarity speaks, like, "Oh, darling," and that kind of stuff. Now, the last character I have for audition is our main villain, and I will say ahead of time that his concept and a large part of the story in general does revolve around the concept of suicide. There is a suicide attempt in the very beginning, and it's basically what Dark Depression is born from, and that's why he's after my character and everything. Voice-wise, he is a cross between Jafar from Aladdin and the voodoo doctor, who I can never remember his name, from the Frog Princess. You can attempt a Sombra voice, but I really want to keep the character as unique as possible. Also, you can go as nuts as you want with the evil laugh. Just have fun with that. He also has some lines that are quite emotional, so make sure that you don't get too evil when doing those lines, because he basically is depression in pony form. So the emotions do have to be strong with this character, like the Force. Sorry, had to throw in a pun somewhere. Anyways, that's all of the auditions that I need. I will be putting the lines in the description. Also, I will be posting a casting call on this new website that I found, castingcall.club, which is basically a giant website dedicated to people who are doing voice acting projects, both paid and unpaid. Despite what it says on that website, there is no deadline for auditions because, well, I have a lot of free time now that I only have a volunteer job and a part-time job that's only for 2 days a week. I look forward to your auditions. I will put my email down below for you to email me the MP3 files, but I would actually prefer a YouTube audio, so you can just send me the link to that. But I will accept the MP3 files as well. Can't wait to start this project, and good luck in your auditions!